while Buddy Buddy is rated R, many movies are being made today to attract a younger audience. These movies may be intended for young folks, but generally they're reviewed in the papers and on television and radio by adult critics. Well, Bob O'Brien says that that's not the case in Provo, Utah, where the local paper has a kid critic for kids' movies. Since the young reviewer we're talking about happens to be Bob's nephew, he just couldn't resist telling us about him.
Most kids his age have never even seen the inside of a newsroom. But John Bleh is a regular contributor to the Provo, Utah Daily Herald. Since September, he's been reviewing films for the paper's youth page.
Maybe for kids, a kid's view is as good as anybody else's. Why should they read a review I write from my point of view and trust my judgment?
John used to get his movie reviews from syndicated TV critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, but he often disagreed with their judgments after he saw the movies for himself. That's when he decided to write the Provo Herald, offering his services as a critic. So far, his reviews have been limited to a selection of films rated G or PG. John says there are lots of R-rated flicks he'd like to see, but both his editor and his mom nixed that. John writes his reviews at home. His mom helps out with typing, grammar, spelling, and other things.
He needs a chauffeur and he needs a typist. So if you call that an integral part, yes, I am. And of course, as I said earlier, I sit on him. Yeah. And right now it's a case of, John, have you done Zorro?
Scratch that.
What? Oh.
John's reviews have made him a celebrity of sorts in Middle Utah. Not only the Provo paper, but local television stations, too, have done stories on John and interviewed him on the air. Why, he was even asked for his autograph as he entered a Provo movie house recently. But look out, Big Apple. Kid Critic from Utah has just hit the Great White Way. Even though he's in town for a 2-week holiday, John will be filing his movie reviews for the Provo Daily Herald by mail. Now, not wanting New York City to fall behind the times when compared to Utah, Channel 5 thought it might be a good idea to have John cast his critical eye on one of the few movies playing around town that is aimed at younger audiences. It's called Heart Beeps. John and I saw it at the Rivoli Theater on Broadway. It costs $5 for adults and $2.50 for kids to see Heart Beeps here at the Rivoli. When we went to this performance, there were a total of 8 paying customers inside, including the 2 of us. So how about it, John? Is Heart Beeps worth the price of admission?
Yeah.
Why? What's the story about, and why did you like it?
It's about 2 robots, Valcom and Aquacom, Andy Kaufman and Bernadette Peters, and it's about them who meet in this robot defect factory, and they escape from it, and along with this other robot. And so they go off and go through these woods to try and get to this other factory where they can be put together properly again and stuff. And they make another little robot and just go off and show a lot of human emotions like love and friendship and stuff.
Unusual for robots, huh?
Yeah.
Well, without giving away the ending, what would you say if I were to ask you to rate Heart Beeps on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say it's about a 6, 7.
A tough critic. So there you have it, parents. A kid's point of view on Heart Beeps from a kid critic, John Bleh. He's only 13 years old, but as John is quick to point out, he's been at this since he was 12. From Broadway, Bob O'Brien, Channel 5 News.
Rotten kid. Bill.
Weather-wise, we received a Christmas present today when the temperature rose.
Well, here's a terrific story about man, woman, and child, and it's true. We want to take just a second to tell you about the newest member.